afternoon or this evening rather, we're about to witness the fourth place playoff in the plate championship, the float plate championship, to be contested between Lancers Float FC, that's in the blue and white, and of course, new entrants making all the way to the fourth place playoff, Labowee Connexions. I do think as first timers getting so far in the competition, this team really needs an applause from our patrons right here because they have done themselves really proud and reaching all the way to the split place and semi-finals. Labowee Connexions in a sort of green or yellow top with the black shorts. I have a very interesting lineup here from the Flow Lancers FC team. I'll go as I see, please. Number 1 in goal, Villain Edward. Number 8, Vibrant Sonson. Number 4, Shane Miller. Number 18, Rafael Calenda. Number 16, Fadi Abu. Number 17, Marius Williams. Number 19, Alvin Alphonse. Number 11, Roger Sedgwick. Number 21, Anthony Paul. Number 3, Claudius Amelie. And number 6, Ansgar Golan. The team is coached by Mr. Chema Daniel and managed by William Nicholas. Once again, a round of applause for Lancers FC. To be Flow Lancers FC. We move on now to the lineup of the Labowee Connexions team. Number 2, Kenneth Clark. Number 3, Andre Joye. Number 4, Balaam Felix. Number 6, Dave Charline. Number 15, Dave McFarlane. Number 14, Dave Joseph. Number 17, Julian Paul. Number 8, Gilroy George. Number 13, Melvin Francis. Number 7, Sylvanus Shalry. And number 1, Rudolph Phillip. Again, round of applause for Labowee Connexions. The team is coached by Tracy Henry and managed by James Prophet. The officials for this encounter, the referee is Mr. Nigel Martrin, AR1, Richard Bryan, AR2, Curtis Edward, and the pump official is Junior George. Enjoy this game, a lot at stake in terms of bragging rights, and of course, having the odds of claiming a third place spot in a prestigious tournament such as the Plate. May the best team win, and do enjoy the game.
Yes, hello, good night, and of course, welcome to our third and fourth place game. That's of the Caribbean Lions Gold Cup Veterans Football Tournament for 2017-2018. Right here at the Philip Maslin ground, contested between Flow Lancers FC and of course Labowee Connexions. Well, of course, both teams coming from Group D, that is. And they both were equal on points, but Labowee Connection edged the Flu Lancers by a goal difference. And the man in the middle is Nigel Mathrin. And Andre Joyer with this one there is trying to find his man, but handball there, and he's complaining. He's not satisfied with the call there. It looks to me like Son is displeased. A nil all here. A free kick coming across there by Francis. That's Fannis, Melvin Fannis. Abu is trying to find his man. Some good work there by the dreadlocks man. And the whistle went. Picture there of number 3 of Flu Lancers FC. Looks to me like Claudius Amidi there. Some good ball control there by Chaldry, finding his man. Abu for Flu Lancers FC spreads it wide, finding Amidi. A battle there between Joyer and the Flu Lancers defender. That's a Son, and again failing to keep possession of the ball there is Labowee Connections. But Nigel Maffrin spotted an infringement there in the middle. A clear picture there of Melvin. Number 13 there for Labowee Connections. Melvin Franus put the leases on this one, trying to find his man. Finding the defender there. It looks to me like Son. He's trying to lift it forward. Looking for Alvin. Finding him. Alvin is trying to dance. Some good defending there. It looks to me like Shalry there. Shalry finding McFarlane. Shalry again. Clearance there by Kenneth Charles, trying to find his man, but finding the number 21, Anthony Paul. And Anthony Paul is trying to dance on the far side, but finding Julian Paul. Julian Paul finding his defender. Again, McFarlane goes wide. This ball is well dealt with in defense. Dave Joseph, the number 14 there on the far side. This one was in his path. A throw in there to be taken by the number 17, Julian Paul, for Labowee Connections. It's still at 0-0. They met in the preliminary round of games that Labowee Connections and of course Flu Lancers FC, and they drew 1-1. Well controlled there by Williams there in defense, and finding his man, Bilan Felix. Bilan Felix is trying to bring this one across, but the wind playing its part there. You see Abu is pointing to directions there. Flu Lancers FC will start from defense again. Oh, Abu is controlling this one and bringing it down quite skillfully, trying to find his man, but finding the number 2, Kenneth Charles, in defense for Flu Lancers FC. just giving it away. He was trying to find McFarlane there. On the far side, it looks to me like Anthony Paul is trying to dance, trying to lift this one there forward. Anthony Paul for Flow Lancers FC is trying to find Roger St. Louis, I think, there. And tumbling is Roger St. Louis. Dave Shalmine. A battle there, Dave McFarlane giving it away. Oh, loose one there for Flow Lancers FC. And he's putting this one past the goalkeeper there. 1-0 in favor of Flow Lancers FC. Claudius Amiri there, putting this one at the back of the net.
You just witnessed Flow Lancers FC going up 1-0 against Labowee Connexions. A goal scored in the 15th minute. I don't remember the gentleman's actual name, but I know he goes by this nickname, Liat. Liat, number 3, goal scorer for Flow Lancers FC in the 15th minute. They lead 1-0 versus Labowee Connexions.
1-0 here. Labowee Connexions. Claudius Samidi finding the back of the net, and this one is with Vibert Sonson finding Abu finding his man Amidi, and he was brought down again. The goal scorer there finding the back of the net, and I just saw the a man in the middle is a question in there. It looks to me like Dave Shalmine being questioned there. Lancers again will start from the back. Shin Midal is finding Alvin. Alvin again finding his defender and giving it away. Some good touches there by McFarlane trying to find his man there on the far side. And that was Dave Joseph, but he was robbed. Midal for Flow Lancers FC. Trying to have this one under control there. Some good work there by Rafael Calendar. But he was well worked. And a foot in there again by Rafael Calendar. And it looks to me like Labowee Connexions earning themselves a corner. One 0 in the 15th minute. This one coming across, clearance. The whistle of Nigel Maffrey went, sporting an infringement. Andre Joye for Flow Lancers FC. He's trying to find his man there moving forward. Oh, poor shot there. Looks to me like Dave Shalmine moving forward there. Just couldn't get the better of Villan Edward in goal. He's just coming back there. Oh, Tony Paul trying to square this one wide, but well met by Charles. Looking to find Joye again. Looking for Dave Shalmine. Oh, one-on-one, and Dave Shalmine is trying to put this one away. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, he's put this one in the back of the goal. And this is the equalizer there. by Dave Shalmine. Finding the back of the net for Labowee Connections. As the equalizer there by Dave Shalmine. 1-1 there. Third and fourth place game there contested between Labowee Connections and of course Fluelancers FC. They were in the same group in the prelims, Group D. Yes, of course, Labowee Connections were ahead. They were both locked on 5 points, but Labowee Connections were ahead on goal difference. They were third in the group, followed by Fluelancers FC in fourth place. That's why they are playing the Flu Plate trophy here tonight at the Philip Marcelin ground. A free kick there by Alvin Alphonse, that is, for Fluelancers FC. Trying to bring this one across, dangerously meeting the head of Roger St. Louis. Going into touch there. Dangerous free kick there coming up for the 6-yard area, and none of the defenders there for Labowee Connections could have made this one as they go wide with Balon Felix. Balon is again trying to share this with his man, finding Shalry. Shalry was well met there, and he's fouled in the process. Abu is winning this one there, looking for Alvin. Clearance there by Melvin. He was looking for Andre Joyer there on the far side, on the near side there. But a touch too heavy on this one there. Alvin, the dreadlocks man is dancing, and quite smartly. And he's finding his man moving forward. And that's the goal scorer, Amidi. He's well guarded there by Kenneth Clark. And some good football there at the back by Labowee Connection. Melvin with the throw. Finding Andre Joyer, back to Melvin. Some lovely foot being placed in there. And that's Gilroy George. He's the goal scorer. He has the number 8. A ball is pushed on the near side and into touch. And mix up with some numbers here. But it's all going to be sorted out. Labowee Connections is trying to get out of their defense. A good control there by Joyer. He's trying to dance around his man. Good block there by Alvin Alphonse, the dreadlocks man for Fluelancers FC. Melvin Franis with the throw. Dave Joseph is looking for the goal scorer. That's Gilroy George. George is trying to dance around his man. Gilroy is bringing this one across and over the head of Sylvanus Shalry. Flu Lancers FC with Amidi trying to find his man, and the ball is ricocheting there from one of the Labowee Connection players. Amidi with the throw. He's given this one away. And also will put it into touch there. Joye with the throw. One all for those who are just joining us here. Melvin. Some poor passing there by Shalry. Giving it back to the defensive third of that's Lancers Amidi, sharing it there with his defender. Dreadlocks Alphonse with Tony Paul trying to get out of there. The Rastaman is winning possession again, but still relinquishing the attack to Bill on Felix, and I thought he was impeded there. Yes, he is. You could see him on the ground. They're just trying to get back to his feet. That's Alvin Alphonse. They were evenly matched in the preliminary rounds. They were locked at 1-1 at regulation time. And they are 1-1 here. Tony Paul trying to bring this one across. Kind of cat and mouse game here. The ball is been played aerially and finally off. The Flu Lancers FC player. That's Amede. Throwing there to Labowee Connexions. 1-1 here in the first half. Kenneth Clark lists this one forward, but finds Son was trying to find his man there again, but again this ball is loving Son. He's finding the dreadlocks man in midfield. It's Alvin. He's trying to go wide there. He was looking for Anthony Paul, but the ball is put into touch for Fruin. This ball is lifted forward there, looking for the dreadlocks man. Oh, some good work there by Villain Edward. Romeo Cox has been introduced into the game, and he's asking why. He's questioning something, and Romeo Cox is furious. He's a danger man there for Labowee Connexions. Romeo Cox again, he's trying to go around his man. And a shot is off target there from Romeo Cox. Well, for in there, controlled there by Ansgar Herman, is finding back his man. Well contested there by Andre Joye, and he's asking them to calm it down, take it easy. Andre Joye. Some lovely trophies there have been displayed on the table. Ball put in the touch by Melvin Franos. Throw in there to Flu Lancers FC. Sonson again to Fadi. A dinky of a pass there Ball coming across, and oh, what a miss there by Anthony Paul. Leslie Shalry bringing this one across, and just couldn't find the boots over Anthony Paul to put Flu Lancers FC ahead. There you see the dreadlocks man there. That's Leslie. And the other dreadlocks man, Alvin. Flu Lancers SC comprised with several dreadlocks man as Kenneth Clark lists this one forward, finding the boot over the number 8 for Flu. This one is coming back across. Well, no problem there for Rudolph Philipp in goal. Well, that's Dave Shalma in there right now, the number 19. Well, his name has been mistaken there, and I got him decked in the mix, but I think I got him there right now. He was almost next to the goal scorer, but the goal scorer is Gilroy George. We've corrected this one there. Some good work there. It looks to me like Flu Lancers FC is on top of their game. Throwing there to Labowee Connexions, but putting up a resistance again in defense is Flu Lancers FC. This one is brought back there, and it looks to me like Romeo Cox was in the mix, then he was robbed. Some good work there by Villan Edward, trying to find his man. This one is coming across dangerously and finding the head of the Labowee Connexions player. And Villan has to play this one wide, and it looks to me finding Tony Paul. Anthony Paul. The Connections with Dave Joseph spreading it wide to his man. Ball coming across, opposing no threat there to Villan Edward. 1-1, they fighting for the third and fourth spot, that of their plate championship. The bottom 8 teams vying for the third and fourth place later on. We'll be seeing VSADC. Yes, of course, they'll be playing with CARICOM Masters, or Leslie getting around his man, or the Rasta combination, and they were robbed there in the defense. Yes, of course, later on, CARICOM Masters, they will entertain VS. Let me remind you that VSADC already win the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup on 3 occasions. Yes, of course, from 2011, VS won it in 2011. They won it in 2012. And they won it in 2015. They are the defending champs of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup. VS won it. Then it was VFOT South, then VS again, then CARICOM Masters, then Soufre, and of course VS, the defending champs of the Caribbean Lions Gold Cup trophy, but they'll be playing for the plate tonight, and of course we'll be playing the finals of the trophy. That's the main trophy, and next Saturday, that's the 10th of February. Some control there. Labowee Connexions, or Romeo Cox, or he's turning and poor shot there. No problem there for Villan Edward. Leslie trying to find Alvin. finding him, and he's well guarded there by Kenneth Clark in defense. Corner there to Flu Lancers FC. Alvin Alphonse with the corner there for Flu Lancers FC. Just trying to caress the ball, having it to remain on its point there because the wind is very heavy here at the Philip Masler ground. You could see the flag with the Flu word written on it there on the near side next to Alvin as he whipped this one there across. And the whistle of Nigel Maffrey went. Well, he's closer to the game than I am, and he knows what's best as Kenneth Clark try to find his man on the far side. Some good work there. It looks to me like Dave Joseph on the far side there. Bill on flicks with the throw. Dave Shalmine giving it away there. Shidmeda with the throw for Flu Lancers FC, finding Ansgar Herman. Leslie was robbed there in the process. This one is pushed forward. No problems there again for Villan Edward. They are evenly poised. Herman with Anthony Paul. They're sharing it around. Shalman was impeded there. Mida whips this one, looking for his man, moving forward. Leslie is found, and Leslie's on the run, and oh, some good work there by Rudolph Phillip as he pushes this one wide. Some good touches on the ball by Dave Shalman right now, looking for his man, and again, Flu Lancers FC taking charge of the ball game. A throw in there by Sonson. Ball is put into the area there, dangerously leaving there. And Shidmeda was coming to help, but the clearance there, looking for the danger man himself, Romeo Cox. And Cox sharing it with his compatriot. This one is coming across. A shot on target, a hit in the transversal is Nathan James. Romeo Cox is trying to come back and help her. And a lifeline here. Villan Edwards transversal was hit and still shimmering there. They are almost giving it away there, and yes, they've done this there. Labowee Connexions. Some good ball there for Labowee Connexions, and they've won themselves a corner. This one will come across. Ansgar Herman in defense. Nathan James brought this one across. Leslie Shalry for Lancers. Oh, some good work there by Anthony Paul. And he's well met there by Kenneth Clark. And a battle there between the two. Trying to gain possession there. And the assistant here on the near side with his flag. Joye. Oh, some good skills there been displayed by Joye. Finding Shalry. Shalry lifts this one to Nathan James. But James was well met there by Sonson. The dreadlocks man, Alphonse. Finding Leslie. This one is whipped across. And around in there was Ansgar Herman. A touch too heavy there. Flo Lancers filling the ball game there. Looking to move forward and looking for the second goal, that is, to take the lead. Through in there by André Joye. He's trying to bring this one forward and finding Alvin. Alvin is sharing it with Leslie. Leslie trying to get around his man. He's trying to get around two and doing this. Oh, this one is just peeling from the inner portion of Leslie's foot. And giving the possession away to Labowee Connexions. This one is coming across dangerously. Oh my God, and hitting the pole there. Was the player moving in, not looking satisfied. Almost went two up there, trying to take the lead. That was Flo Lancers FC. Living very dangerously in defense was the Labowee Connexions, as they'll start from defense again. Looks to me like Belon flicks there on the far side. Finding Romeo Cox. Romeo is trying to dance around Ansgar. Romeo is trying to find his man there, Dave Joseph, and Dave Joseph couldn't handle matters there on the far side. Mida with ball in hand there for Flo Lancers FC. Through in there. It's fine, Anthony Paul. A flick there from Ansgar Herman. It's fine, one Charlemagne. But Charlemagne just couldn't deal with it. He was guarded there by Alvin Alphonse. Lancers is trying to keep possession of the ball. Right now, Shalry finding his man, and this one is spread out wide, and Sonson again bringing it back into the danger area. But Nathan James is trying to get around Shalry. Shalry robbed at Nathan James, and Shalry in the final third. And Kenneth Clark coming across to help in defense. Alvin Alphonse there. 1-2. The Dreadlocks Rastafarians are playing with the ball, bringing it across. Anthony Paul is in search. He's looking for Ansgar Herman. Morris Williams. They're sharing this ball around. Son. Shalry is trying to get around Andre Joye. Now winning this one there. Finding Romeo Cox, and Romeo Cox is challenged there by Rafael Calenda, and Romeo is displeased. Just a St. Amy there, the number 10. He's not wearing his traditional little stockings around the head tonight. He'll bring this one across, just a St. Amy. Looking for the second goal here tonight. This one coming dangerously across, meeting the heads of the defense. And out by Vibert Sonson. Just a swift throw. Sonson is trying to deal with the pressure here. Clearance. Even chased there by Andre Joye. The wind is not very strong here tonight at the Philip Marston ground. Clash there between Andre Joye and Vibert Sonson. Rule in the favor of Andre Joye. Yeah, that was Andre Joye on this one. Just St. Amy there. I'm in the mix, moving forward there. Also, Dave Joseph was there. Villan Edward finding his defense. Alvin Alphonse. A good ball there, played by Leslie. Leslie finding his man. This one is flat. Back to the number 10 for Flo Lancers FC. Oh, good movement there on the ball. And not bringing it across how he should have.
VIS, Veterans in Sports Inc.
Looks to me like Rafael Calenda was impeded. Herman firing this one. Mida trying to bring it across. Alvin is trying to deal with it, and Alvin is brought down. It looks to me like McFarlane there. Bringing Alvin down. And Nigel Maffrin having some words there with the culprit. And Alvin is not pleased with the positioning of the ball, where Nigel is requiring that it should be. Alvin will whip this one into the area. And wasted there. And at the first half whistle, it's 1-1 here between Labowee Connections and, of course, Flow Lancers FC. Claudius Amede found the back of the net at the 15th minute. And, of course, the equalizer by Gilroy George in the 21st minute. So it's 1-1 in the third and fourth place encounter. That of the plate championship of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup, which is the bottom 8 teams vying for the plate trophy. And of course, next weekend, Saturday the 10th, we'll be back here for the main championship, the Gold Cup. And of course, you're viewing courtesy Winners TV.
Veterans in Sports Inc.
Welcome back to the second half of the third and fourth place game, that of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup Veterans Football for 2017-2018. That's their plate trophy. The bottom 8 teams, they're vying for the plate trophy. That's the third and fourth place, as you see. Romeo Cox finding his man there. 1-1 here between Labowee Connections and, of course, Flow Lancers FC. Bilon Felix is trying to whip this one forward there. Giving chase there is Ansgar Herman for Flow Lancers FC. Fadi Abu, he was contested there. Thrown in there by Nathan James for the Connections. James again, Herman there with the head up, putting it into touch there for Labowee Connections to throw it in. And Nathan James there, the custodian. And it looks to me like Dave Joseph winning it again. A clearance there from Leslie. He was finding his man there, and well shadowed there by Sheen Mida into touch. A goal kick to Lancers. This one is spread wide. This one was well met again there by Bilon Felix, and some good work there by Mida, shielding this ball there, but Bilon retrieving this one and try to bring it in. Some work there by Williams, finding his man, and Clarence. Again, it seems to me like this ball is loving Bilon Felix, and he's contested it again on Roger St. Louis. Leslie spreads it wide. He finds his man. Looks to me like a Sunday on the far side. Leslie. Again, this one is helped across. Mida is wanting it across, and I think Mida will find it, but it was robbed of Mida. Romeo Cox is trying to dance around his man. Was back to Balon. Romeo is trying to take control of the ball game, but he was robbed there by Amidi. Balon again. Fadi for Lancers. They're trying to put it forward there, looking for Roger St. Louis. Fadi again. Amidi is trying to bring this one across. Heads go in defense. Herman finding Shallery. Herman and Shallery is trying to. There's a player remaining down there. It looks to me like Amidi.
We have the Summons Saturday, that's how we call it right here in the Veterans Football. And trust me, when you buy
some assistance
you get a chance to get the price as well. So
has been paid onto him.
I want to read the prices. I saw there is a hamper, cooling drinks, and Summons beer and wine and anything. I saw it, so I want it. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, like I say, you purchase your Summons beer at $4 for $10. You can get your at any bars.
That's of the medical team, yes, of course, assistance of the medical team.
And get a chance to win a lovely prize.
It's on the field area there. Taking care of the player remaining down, and I think most probably he'll be stretched off. He's looking in some severe pain there. Oh, he'll be a heavy man to carry, I could tell you. And he's helped off the field. One all between Labowee Connexions and of course Lancers FC. Lancers decked in the blue. Labowee in the light green. And Nathan James has whacked this one to Villain Edward. Edward finding his defender. He was looking for Leslie there, but again this ball is put into the heat there for Leslie to control, and Leslie's bringing this one across dangerously. It's Ansgar Herman there, and it looks to me Rudolph Phillip doing some very good work there.
PG 3965.
Bailon.
I think you're back too close to the entrance and persons have to.
Bailon and Dave Joseph were sharing it there, but finding themselves a throw.
965. We would appreciate if you would just
some good work there by Morris.
In order to create more convenience for our patrons.
This one is lifted, moving forward there, and Philip is coming out. Roger St. Louis looking quite comfortable moving forward there. The whistle of Nigel Mathrin went up on the far side, spotting the culprit there. Leslie will bring this one across. Leslie bringing this one across, and a bit too heavy there. It's been chased there by Bailon Felix. And you just seen Amede is just limping there on the far side. Rudolph Phillip putting the ball on the spot. Kenneth Clark spreads it wide, finding Bailon. Bailon again was trying to find his compatriot there, Dave Joseph, on the near side, and it was helped him to touch through in there. Ansgar Herman is trying to bring this one in there quite dangerously. And this one is cleared off the line. Andre Joyer not conversating there with his keeper, Rudolph Philippe. Joyer is remaining on genuflected knees. He's just picking himself up there. Was kind of shocked. But it was wide of Rudolph's goal. As you see, some players there been coming in the mix there. Roger St. Louis, and you saw Mida there. Leslie Shalry with the corner kick. Trying to help it with the wind. The heads of the defense go up, and this ball is back into the heat and straight into the arms of Rudolph Philippe. Herman. Touch to light. Ball given back to Flo Lancers FC. Herman has a chance again to redeem himself. He spreads it wide, looking for Leslie. Leslie finding his man. That's Sonson, and I think Sonson was robbed. Oh, what a good ball there. A touch too heavy there from the man himself. That's just a centime. He was looking for Romeo Cox there. Anthony Paul is trying to move around the defensive third. And Anthony Paul again was challenged there by Dave Shalmine. And is furious there. It looks to me like Anthony Paul is in some problems there with Nathan James there, number 21 and 22. And it's been sorted out there by Nigel Maffrin. And Nathan James with some hand gestures there. And Nigel Maffrin has gotten in between it. Ansgar Herman is going to bring it across. Looking to take the lead there is Flo Lancers FC. Way over the goal. They are not controlling the height and the lift on the ball. The wind is not that strong here tonight. Let me remind you that you viewing football here, courtesy Winners TV, right here at the Philip Marsland ground. Tonight is the finals of the Flo Plate Trophy, that of the Caribbean Lions Gold Cup. And this is the third and fourth place between Labowee Connexions and, of course, Lancers FC. It's a 1-all later on via CDC. They'll be taking on CARICOM Masters. In the finals. Ball is kept alive here. And a shot on goal. This one goes across the line just for a corner kick to be taken there by Justice Saint-Aimé on the far side for Labowee Connexions. This one is whipped across, finding Romeo Cox, and Cox is finding his man. This one is not well met there by Dave Joseph. Sulphur City Soufriere will come up against Grozily next Saturday, right here at the Philip Marston ground in the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup finals. And Valley Legends will play Central View Fort in the third and fourth place. Ansgar is helping this one, trying to find the dreadlocks man, Alvin, the number 19, is also on the number 19, Dave Shalmine in defense. This one is whipped across and met Clark. Sentimi was well met by Sonson there on the far side. Justice again. Justice is trying to find his man, but Flo Lancers FC recuperating. A touch too heavy there for Anthony Paul. Bilon Felix finding the head of Abu. A 1-2 there by Paul and Abu. Anthony Paul on the near side, whipping it across dangerously. Some good defending in defense there by Dave Shalmine. McFarlane was trying to find Dave Joseph there. Abu trying to bring this one down. He was robbed. Sentimi is trying to dance into the final third of a Flo Lancers FC. And they've lost possession. A very good ball into the path of Anthony Paul. He's trying to bring this one across. And Rudolph Phillip is just coming down hard on this one there. Finding Dave Joseph. Joseph is trying to find Justice Sentime. He's brought it down so carefully and so calmly. He was trying to share it there with Nathan James, and James was well met there. Has a very hard green on the face. I thought he was met by Morris Williams there.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're interested in our after party happening tonight at the Riverbank in Lakewood, I have tickets on sale, only $15. So interested, please come down to the DJ booth. Link me.
Justice
I have tickets selling at
trying to bring this one into the final third there.
Happening tonight, more started in those events.
Paul.
The Riverbank in Lakewood.
Looks to me like Hall calling there. Hall wanted it again. And a player is remaining down there for Flo Lancers FC. He's going to pick up himself there. And it looks to me like Nigel Marfrin is going to go in his book there. Morris Williams was impeded as he walks with a limp. Gingerly picks up himself, and they're going to start from behind again. Firebird Sonson is trying to find Alvin. Alvin is trying to get around three players there. And Alvin was whistled there for an infringement. Dave Shalmine there, 19 on 19 with Alvin Alphonse. They having a go at it. Dreadlocks on the ball head, man. Bilon is trying to find his man moving forward there, but Angsga is working very well with his keeper. This one is whipped across to Juan Shalmine. Vibert Sanson is trying to find Leslie, finding him. And again, this one is given to Sentime. That's Justus. Justus finding his man. Justus one-on-one with Edward. And Edward is making no mistake there. Fadi goes wide, finding Leslie. Leslie was looking for Alvin, and Alvin is bringing down Dave Shalman there on the far side. And Alvin is there with outstretched arms. I mean, half-cock arm stretched out, and kind of half guilty. They're asking what's the problem there. And it looks to me Dave Shalman is not pleased about it at all. Pointing towards Richard Bryan there on the far side. That's the assistant number one, AR number one there. This one is launched forward there by Andre Joyer. Gilroy Hall. Flo Lancers FC. Losing possession to Labowee Connexions. Balon Felix, guarded by Fadi Abu. Balon has lifted this one across. Balon was looking for his man. Didn't really find him. Ball is shadowed out there by Shane Maida. Also with the throw to Ansgar Herman. Back to Maida. One on two touch there. Ansgar and Maida. Ansgar is lifting this one and looking for Anthony Paul. Finding him. He has acres of space there. He's trying to go around Bill and Felix. He's dancing fine. He's trying to bring this one across. Looking for Leslie. Leslie with a good touch on the ball there, and he found Alvin, and Alvin went down, and of course Nigel Maffron is not interested. Some good work there by Sonson, and the whistle of Nigel Maffron was heard. Brought the game to a stop. It looks to me like they're going to pay attention to Alvin Alphonse there. He's remained down in the final third defensive area of Labowee Connexions, and is still locked at 1-1 between the two. We were here in the 63rd minute of the game, and the Dreadlocks Alvin has let down the Roots. The Roots is almost touching the ground. It is. Some strands are. Flo Lancers will start with Ansgar. He's looking for one. One was trying to help it across. Clearance there again. The whistle of Nigel Maffron was heard again. And Nigel has to get in between. It looks to me like Nathan James, and of course a defender there from Flu Lancers FC. A yellow card was shown onto him. We're going to restart here with Ansgar Herman. He's going to list this one forward for Lancers. He goes across, finding Mida. Shane trying to dance around his man, doing so quite successfully. He was trying to find Anthony Paul, but again, gaining possession as Shane of Balin. Trying to bring this one across. Some good work there by Kenneth Clark, the skipper, away in the number 2 in defense for Labowee Connexions. We're locked at 1-1 here between the two in the second half of our first encounter tonight. Ansgar Herman in defense. Goes back to his defender. That's his keeper there. Some good work there by Viber Sonson. Rafael Calenda on the far side, finding his man. This one was cleared there by Nathan. I think this one went over the fence and out of the ballpark. Throw in there from Sonson, giving possession back to the Connections. Some good work there by a Calendar. I think he was shown the cut there. And Ansgar Herman has asked Mida to take a chill pill. He's going to retrieve. Looking for one. Giving it away there is one. He's finding Nathan James for Labowee Connexions. James is spreading it wide to Joye. Joye is bringing this one across. And this one is way off target there. Not bothering the goal of Villon Edward. I mean, a reminder here, we're watching courtesy Winners TV. And it's Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup Veterans Football for 2017-2018 right here at the Philippe Magie Maslin grounds. 1-1 between Labowee Connexions decked in the green. Coming up against Flu Lancers FC decked in the blue and white. Morris Williams spread it wide. He was looking for his man, but met Joye. Joye is lifting it forward, but a touch too heavy there for the player moving forward.
Just joining us here on the Philip Macedon, we're witnessing the fourth place in the plate championship. Labowee Connection yellow versus
Ansgar finding Leslie. Leslie is lifting this one forward there, looking for Anthony Paul, and this one was well dealt with by Dave Shalmine. But the dreadlocks man,
We asked them to use the back of the goal. Not the
The whistle there of Nigel Maffrey went, and he's not pleased with what he saw at all. And he's not going to tolerate it from Joye and, of course, neither Kenneth Clark there. A free kick has been awarded to Flu Lancers FC. Very deep into the second half of this game here. Leslie, is he going to work with the trajectory of the wind? He's bringing this one across. And oh my God! Anthony Paul just had to hit the marker. And he's put it wide, I think. A very healthy dink over the top there. Still 1-1. Herman in defense is finding Morris Williams. Calendar was finding Ansgar. Ansgar missing out on this one there. The connections again giving a favor back to Rafael Calendar and, of course, his men. Sanson finding Hall. Hall again was looking for Leslie. Bringing this one down is Williams. Finding Herman back in defense. Moving forward. Finding Anthony Paul. Anthony Paul is trying to dance around 1, 2. And one too many. Putting this one out. Rastaman is trying to dance and finding his man. Morris shares it. This one is a healthy ball there from Gilroy Hall, but Leslie just couldn't get onto the end of it. Rudolph was faster. Joye for the connections. A touch too heavy on this one there from Joye. Calendar spreads it to Herman. Herman looking for Mida in defense for Flu Lancers FC. He's giving it to Bielan. Bielan looking very solid. McFarlane. And Bielan was trying to whip this one across. Unfortunately. It goes into touch there. Freud. Gilroy Hall. Finding Morris. Is looking for Leslie. Leslie's trying to dance. Leslie's going around his man there, Joye, quite comfortably. Leslie's trying to whip this one across dangerously there. Living is there. A final further of Labowee Connexions, Dave Shalmine putting it into touch. A corner kick for Flu Lancers FC. It looks to me like the dying moments there of the second half of this game, and it's still locked at 1-1. Leslie Shalry with the corner. With a little help of the wind, he could do some damage in here. Is lifting this one. Not in the manner that he would have wished. Rafael Calendar was robbed by Justice Senteme. Senteme is looking for his man moving forward. A clearance there by Villon Edward coming off his line.
Also, we check out the floor tent, which is she's there at the entrance. With the top of $10 or more.
Herman spreads it wide to Sheen.
So if you top up $10 or more on the floor tent,
Sheen Maida finding Anthony Paul. He's dancing around Balen. He spreads it, finds Gilroy Hall. Izai. And the player moving forward there was ruled offside. Oh, a lovely touch on this one there. And it looks to Milan. Oh, it's a very good work there again. The Dreadlocks man, they try to put this one at the back of the net. It was well dealt with. They will come again. Herman safeguarding his defense. He receives it again from Villain. Son on the far side. Oh, good touch there from the Dreadlocks to Hall. Hall is trying to dance. And Hall is losing it there to Nathan James. This one is in the path of Justice Sentime. Clearance there by Anthony Paul. Looks to me like Calendar was impeded there in the defensive third. Leslie is looking for the next Dreadlocks man. That's Alvin. Alvin is back to Leslie. Leslie was trying to have a shot there, but misheated this one there. And this player there moving forward was ruled offside. Calendar back to his sweeper. Herman was looking for a Leslie there, but well taken care of. No problems there for Villon Edward in goal. Shane Maida for Flow Lancers FC. He's trying to lift this one gently there. Finding Alvin. Alvin is trying to dance around Balen. Alvin has left Balen and he's gone into the final third. Alvin has gone. Alvin with the left foot bringing it across, and oh my God. It's just whistling across the goal there. And the number 12 coming in there for Lancers just couldn't have a boot onto this one to put it to the back of the net, what I call the old onion bag. In the dying moments here of the second half of our first game here tonight, the third and fourth place of the Flu Plate Trophy of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup. Balon, taking care of his man. This one was given away. Gilroy Hall is trying to square this one, and well met again by the defensive third, Andre Joyer. Some good touches on the ball there for Labowee Connections. Almost giving it away, but still possessing the ball game and keeping possession of the ball. Felix looking for his man on the flank, but giving chase there is Shane Maida finding Anga. Ang's got there in defense for Flu Lancers FC. Alvin is trying to dance around his man. Alvin and Justice in battle. Justice has won. Justice with Romeo Cox. Justice is not playing it into the path of Romeo Cox, but straight into the hands of Villon Edward. Anthony Paul for Flu Lancers FC. He's finding his man, Morris Williams. Morris. Hall with Leslie. Leslie's trying to dance around Andre Joyer. And Joyer putting up a resistance there on the far side. Morris Williams again. Trying to bring this one across. Good defending there again from the boys of Labowee Connections. Trying to connect here. Giving chase there is Rafael Calenda on the far side. Throw into Flu Lancers FC. Faber Sanson giving away possession. Nathan James is trying to bring this one across to Billon. And Billon looks to me was robbed there by Anthony Paul. Well guarded there, and he's put it between Billon's legs. Anthony Paul is shielding off Billon. And at the final whistle, it's locked at 1-1 here between the two. And in regulation time, it's 1-1. And I'm supposing that they'll be going to extra time. 10 minutes, half. Yes, of course, and providing the scores remain in this manner, we're going to go into penalty shootouts. Let me remind you, you're watching Football Action, courtesy Winners TV, Veterans Football, Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup for 2017-2018. We're getting ready for the second half of extra time. It was locked at 1-1 in regulation time. It was at 0-0 in the first half of extra time, and remaining at 1-1. But commencing here in the second half of extra time is still 0-0, but still 1-0. at the closure of regulation. No goals has scored in the extra time period. So it's even Stevens in no one's favor. Claudius Amede for Flow Lancers FC found the Old Onion bag, that of Rudolph Phillip, in the 15th minute of this encounter here as it started. And of course, Gilroy George, the number 8, equalized in the 21st minute here for Labowee Connections, and it has remained in this manner since, as Justice St. Amy is looking for Romeo Cox, and Cox is spreading this one wide, and Ansgar Herman will clear from its point, finding Fadi Abu. Abu squares it to Morris Williams. Williams is giving it away. It looks to me like McFarlane. Well met there by a Calendar. Romeo Cox finding St. Amy. Justice St. Amy is ruled offside. He blasted into the roof of the net, but not before the whistle of Nigel Maffrin went. Nigel Maffrin ruling St. Amy in an offside position there. Isai Hall with Alvin. Hall again. Hall sharing it with his compatriots, and a touch too heavy again there for Hall. Is looking very, very worried there, and some words were said. Not satisfied at all. Justice is trying to flick this one on to his compatriot there and finding Vibert Sonson in defense, and Ansgar is taking charge back to Sonson, but again not maintaining the composure, of course, not maintaining the passes being in an equilibrium. And as you see, the Dreadlocks is trying to dance around Clark, and he was well met again. Some good defending there. Justice is trying to move there on Ansgar Herman, and Calendar is doing some good defending. Morris Williams again is putting this one into touch there for a throw-in to Labowee Connections. St. Amy is bringing this one in, trying to find Romeo Cox there. Calendar finding Williams. Sonson finding Alvin. Alvin was well met there by Charlemagne, and Alvin recuperating. And Alvin is looking for Leslie. Leslie in battle there with Kenneth Clark. Fadi squares it wide, finding Hall. Hall is trying to dance around his man. Hall is bringing this one across, and well met in defense again. Ansgar was troubled there by Romeo Cox. Ansgar recuperating this ball there for Flow Lancers FC. He's spreading it wide to Anthony Paul. Anthony Paul is bringing this one across, but well met again there by the custodian in goal for Flow Lancers FC. Justice Sentimi. It's been marked there by Shin Mida. Sentimi is bringing this one across there. And Vilan Edward taking care of it. As he throws it to his compatriot there. Romeo Cox, 1-on-1. Romeo Cox is trying to dance. And Romeo Cox is of no problem whatsoever there to the defensive third of Vilan Edward. Anthony Paul is bringing this one across for Leslie. Leslie's trying to dance around his man and well cleared off the line again. Mida losing possession. Rafael Calenda is doing some very good work there. Fadi for Flow Lancers FC. Wasted from Lancers. Giving possession right away again. Back to Flow. Ball is not kept by either or, and it's played aerially. Till now it's been brought down. Justice St. Amy has two players marking him there. Ansgar Herman will put it into touch there. Vibert Sonson looking for Herman. Herman is looking to get out of the defense. Pushes this one. He finds Isai Hall. Hall is squaring it to Alvin. Alvin is trying to get around his man. Failing to do so. Clearance again. It looks to me like Calendar there. Trying to clear this one off a smack. And Nigel Maffrey spotting an infringement, and Calendar is complaining to him. A boot was raised too high. Well worn. Melvin Fanus looking for Saint-Amy. Saint-Amy is trying to make inroads there. Well guarded there by Calendar. And again, well met again by Vilan Edward in goal. Isai Hall, well controlled. And given away. Clearance from Kenneth Clark. Battle there between Dave Joseph. And it looks to me like Anthony Paul there on the far side. Throw into Labowee Connections. Good work in defense again by Calendar. Is finding Alvin. Looking for Isai Hall. Not controlling it there in the manner that he'd have wished. That's a Hall. Was met by Clark. Clark looking for his man in defense. That's Fanus. Giving away to Flow Lancers FC. Fadi. Anthony Paul has acres and acres of space. Lazily done there by Anthony Paul. Giving full possession there to Labowee Connections. Romeo Cox. On the end of this one, he's guarded by Ansgar Herman. He'll try to dance. Play no 1-2 there if his compatriot. He'll bring this one. Oh, what a shot there by Romeo Cox. And of course, Vilan Edward is not pleased at all. Standing in goal there with arms open wide, asking them why should they let Romeo Cox take this blazing shot across his goal. Still 1-1. In the dying moments of extra time. And a penalty between the two is the final whistle here. It's locked at a 1-1 from regulation time. It ended at 0-0 in the closure of extra time. None did find the back of the net in extra time, so we were locked here at 1-0. So penalties between the two here to decide the third and fourth place between Labowee Connections and of course Flow Lancers FC. Come back to extra time here at the Philip Martinet ground. Our first game here tonight, third and fourth place of the Flow Plate Trophy, that of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup. The bottom 8 teams battling for this trophy. And of course, the finals will be contested tonight between CARICOM Masters and of course VSADC. VSADC relinquishing their title, that of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup Trophy. They were the defending champs from last year. They've won the trophy on 3 occasions: 2011, 2013, and of course 2016, 2017. It was won in 2012 by Viewfort South. It was won in 2014 by CARICOM Masters, in 2015 by Soufre Veterans, and of course 2016, 2017 by VSADC. Extra time here, 10 minutes and a half between the two, and providing that it remains in this manner, we are going to go in penalty shootouts. But next weekend, that's the 10th of February, we'll be back here to see the actual finals, what we're looking for. And with a burst of fury, Leslie was trying to bring this one across and straight into the arms of Rudolph Philip here. As I was saying, we're going to be back here on the 10th of February to see the finals of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup have been contested by Grizzly Veterans and of course Soufre Veterans. Soufre, of course, they got past Viewfort Central by 4-2, and of course Grizzly got the better, or I should say thrashed Mabuya Valley by 4-1 to get into the finals. It will be contested by Soufre Veterans and of course Grizzly Veterans, and that is left Valley Legends from Mabuya and of course Central Viewfort to play for the third and fourth position. Mark Fallon finding his man, and again Anthony Paul is dancing into the final third and trying to find his man there, and well met again in defense. Clearance there by Ansgar Herman, battling with Justice Saint-Aimé, but Ansgar is on the ball. He was robbed there by Herman, straight into the path of Villan Edward. Villan goes wide. He's finding Vibert Sanson. Sanson was guarded there by the number 6 of Flow Lancers FC. Ball was well worn there. Alvin is trying to turn on his man. Morris finding his man there on the far side. Leslie. Oh, this one was brought across, and there was no man there, but Roger St. Louis was there in the mix, and it just blew across the surface of the goal area. St. is robbed by Mida. Mida is trying to find his man, Williams. Williams in the region there. And again, Kenneth Clark doing some good work in defense. Calendar again, the hustle there by Calendar, and he was brought down. Calendar looks in despair, getting himself from off the ground as Anthony Paul is dancing around his man. And he's bringing this one across, trying to look for Leslie there on the far side. Oh, this one is just peeling from the inner portion of Leslie's boot, helping itself across the line into touch for a goal kick. Lancers in search of the second goal here tonight, and not finding it as yet. There's a wood going around there. Dave Shalmine is sharing it with Nigel Maffra. Nigel Maffra is just backpedaling there on his point and indicates to Kenneth Clark do his job. Sonson is just issuing this one into touch there for throwing to be taken there by number 6 there of Labowee Connections. Well met there by Ansgar Herman. He squares it, find Anthony Paul. Anthony Paul was trying to square it wide to Fadi Abu, but he was well met there again by Andre Joyer. Well robbed by Vibert Sonson. Again, you see Kenneth Clark in the defensive third, got the better of this one there on Roger St. Louis. Justus St. Anthony Paul looking for his man, and it seems to me that he was well met there. Ansgar will clear for Flow Lancers FC. Alvin will give chase, try to keep it in the game. Mida spreads it around, finds Williams. Again, Williams was looking for his compatriot there, and they were robbed in the process. Mida again. Mida making amends. Oh, what a salad. Alvin is whipping this one across, and he's looking for Roger St. Louis. Roger was safeguarded there. It looked to me like Alvin Etienne there. Alvin Etienne is safeguarded there by Fadi Abu. And And I think he released just Senteme there, and Senteme was ruled offside by Curtis Edward, the AR there on the near side. Angsga kicking this one flat to Anthony Paul. Abu finding Morris Williams. A touch too heavy there for Alvin Alphonse. Relinquishing the possession onto the Connections. Alvin again recuperating the ball. Lifting it across. Is looking for Izai. Hall whipping it across. That's oh, it was and Paul there whipping it across. Hall just square it to Anthony Paul, and this one was just blowing across Rudolph Phillips' goal. No problems whatsoever. The first half of extra time. Winners TV capturing it live here tonight. Kenneth Clark, Shane Meader. Oh, in the wrong path. He was looking for the dreadlocks man, but found the defensive third of Labowee Connexions. Joyer. Well met again by Vibert Sonson. A 1-2 there from Sonson and Hall. Sonson is bringing this one across. Dangerously leaving is the defensive third of Labowee Connexions. A shot on target there by Paul and a back heel there. Attempted with the man moving forward there for Flow Lancers FC. They're looking pretty tired there. Some tired faces, I must say. You're not missing any action there. The game has been stopped there momentarily. We're back here, a live action. Just as Sentime is trying to bring this one across to Romeo Cox, but straight into the arms of Villain Edward. The danger man Romeo Cox for Labowee Connexions. Villain is just lacing this one across. And this is the whistle of the first half of extra time. And they are still locked at 0-0. That is 1-1. Oh, it's 0-0 in the first half of extra time. But the score remaining at 1-1.